Greetings all. My name is Rick and my ham radio call sign is V7 Tango Kilo. This video will demonstrate the use of the Ten-Tec Orion with the LP-PAN panadapter by N8LP with an external USB sound card using PowerSDR-IF and N4PY software. A full description of the setup, including the needed modification to the Orion, is documented on my website at www.ve7tk.com. The rig I'm using for this demonstration is a Ten-Tec Orion Model 565. At my station, the Orion is rack-mounted with a Ten-Tec Hercules 2 solid-state linear amplifier above and a Ten-Tec 253 automatic antenna coupler below. The rack also has a parametric equalizer for SSB audio output and a 4-channel headphone amplifier for guests. That's the hardware. And yes, I know the Orion already has a sweep function, but the LP-PAN will blow the socks off it. So now let's look at the software and the pan adapter in action. First, here is a quick demo of the N4PY Orion rig control software. As you can see, I can change bands. I'm currently on 20 meters, 14,185. Just a simple click of the mouse. It's now at 18,138. Gain and upper sideband. I can go over to 18076 and it's switched to CW because I'm in my CW selected portion of the software. All of it's done with a click of a mouse. Go back over to 20 meters. You can see it's the mouse is on a 2.8 kilohertz filter. We can change that filter size up to 3 or down to 1.8, whatever you want, and 2.8 is kind of my default. So the mouse has some very powerful features here with the N4PY software, and the fact that virtually 90 to 95% of what goes on in the Orion can be done from the mouse in the remote pod. I've unmuted the rig now, so it's a pretty busy band on 20 meters, as you might anticipate. Unfortunately, the PowerSDR-IF panadapter software has been designed for a number of rigs, including the Elecraft K3, but not the Ten-Tec Orion. However, Carl, N4PY, has included an output port in his software that emulates the Elecraft K3 serial data. This allows Orion owners, after extracting the 9 MHz IF output, to use his software directly with PowerSDR-IF. I've now opened up PowerSDR-IF. Here you will see the basic pan adapter interface showing numerous stations up and down 20 meter band. You will also see lots of buttons, all of which apply to the Flex Radio series of transceivers. Unfortunately, most of these buttons do not apply to the Ten-Tec Orion. Luckily, the authors of PowerSDR-IF software, Scott W2UX and Chad W1CEG, have been listening, and the current version allows users to collapse the screen to a minimum number of buttons. So here we go, we'll just collapse it. And as you can see, that is a far better example of what's going on. Recently, N4PY provided the final pieces of the puzzle, pretty well integrating the Orion control software with the PowerSDR. His latest addition has been to link the Orion's second receiver to the PowerSDR-IF software. This gives an on-screen representation showing the second receiver whenever the Orion is in dual or split mode, assuming, of course, the second receiver is in the passband of the pan adapter. So now let's show the combination of firmware and software in action. The first thing I would like to show is the point-and-shoot capability. I've right-clicked on my mouse. That gives us the crosshairs here in yellow. And to click, or to point and shoot, we just look for a signal that we want to look for, and how about that one there? You click the mouse, and there you are. And follows along. If I decide to go to another portion of the band, like over here, we'll find out what this guy's saying. There you go. It works very, very well. Second thing I want to show is the filter bandwidth visualization. This is the bandwidth, sort of the shaded area to the rest of the magenta, to the right of the magenta line. It's currently set at 2.8. If I go to 3 kilohertz, you'll see it get wider. You may even hear it on the speaker as the speaker volume gets a little more broad as well. So now I'm going to move it down to 1.8 kilohertz from 3. And it narrows it down again, as you'd expect. The other feature I was mentioning is the dual split action. I'll put this back on a reasonable 2.8 filter, and now I'll look at it, give you an example of the split function. The second receiver is currently at 2.5 kilohertz. And you can, so there's the second receiver. And pile up on somebody. And down here we have the A receiver, the main receiver. We'll see what this guy's talking to. And now we'll get both of them. I'll take it out. A dual does the same thing in split if you're working a DX. Another thing I'd like to show here, and I'm going to mute the rig for this, is show the panadapter and waterfall. There are various options on the panadapter, spectrum, scope, straight waterfall. Occasionally I use what they call the panafall, which is a combination of the two. So you'll see the stronger signals are in the brighter colors, and that's the way it shows up. So, is the combination of the Orion with the LP pan and all this software perfect? No. For example, if you look at the screen right now, you'll see in the vicinity of the center frequency, you have this dark blue area. This is a decrease in signal strength of about 3 dB near the center frequency. It seems to be hardware determined, and I've noticed that if I click on the hardware noise blanker, the problem is basically eliminated. And of course, the hardware noise blanker will introduce some other issues, but it seems to be related in that noise blanker portion of the circuitry, and I haven't looked at it. I'm not about to look at it, I'm afraid. The second issue deals with the bandwidth. I'm currently looking at just over 100 kilohertz of bandwidth, which is normally where I run the Orion LP pan combination. If you open it up to the full 192 kilohertz bandwidth, which I've just done, you'll see the convex nature of the curve here of with the signal strength falling off at the two ends. I think this is a hardware design issue in the Orion, probably somewhere in advance of the 9 kilohertz IF, 9 megahertz IF that I've picked up. But in summary, I feel this is a great combination for the Orion, and I quite enjoy the extra features the LP pan and all the software has brought to the Orion. I feel it has made an already great rig even better. So that's it for my first video. Hope you enjoyed it. Also, the information that I presented here is current as of July 2010, and of course subject to change because this software is certainly being developed as we speak. 7-3 from British Columbia. Hope to catch you again, and take care.